Hello, 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 everybody. Let's see. Today's Monday. Munder Day, as my granddaughter says, Munder Day. But anywho, she's a little doll baby, and I love her to death. And she's the best thing that ever happened to me. Well, I mean, besides my daughter, of course, they're the two best things to ever happen to me. And um, for those of you who are, you know, in the have the grown children in the age 50s age range, Gen Xers. If you haven't become a grandparent, I always say I highly recommend it. Highly recommend it because it's the best thing ever. So, anyway, I'm just kind of randomly talking today because I didn't really have like an agenda. I just wanted to come on here and just see what comes to my brain and then out of my mouth, I guess. So, it is Monday Day, yes, March the 24th. And this is Make It Make Sense. And there's a lot of things that I would like to be able to make it make sense. But it's such a chaotic world that we live in right now. So nothing really makes sense. And then, of course, today, the big story of today was that the editor from The Atlantic was included on a chat in Signal, is what it's called. I guess it's one of those messaging apps. I don't have Signal, but that's what I understand. It's a messaging app, but it is like a public messaging app, that anybody can use, kind of like WhatsApp, I guess. And you had all of the Secretary of Defense, the Secretary of, what is it, Marco Rubio, whatever he is. I can't keep up. And then Tulsi Gabbard and all of these people that were in this chat discussing the plans for the Houthi attack. So it was highly classified, government information. And somehow this editor at the Atlantic was also in the chat. So you got the two things that were the big flub up is that they were chatting on an unsecure messaging app, and then someone somehow included this editor from this magazine. I guess it's an online magazine. So immediately when I heard the story, the first thing I thought about was in 2016. How, oh my gosh, it was the biggest controversy over Hillary Clinton's emails. Now, Hillary Clinton should have been more careful about her emails, but oh my God, Donald Trump raised the biggest fuss about that. And I'm like, whew. And I just thought about karma and how karma just kind of does what it does. It really does. And I'm not mad about it, but do I think anything is going to be done about this? Yeah, probably not. It's probably going to get swept under the rug. And from what I've heard and listened to, this is pretty serious. And people are saying that no security breach like this has ever happened in the history of our country and all of that. And it was quite entertaining to see a journalist ask Donald Trump about it. And he basically said he didn't know what he was talking about. He didn't know anything about it. And of course, we all know that's not true. And I'm sure he knew about it as soon as it was leaked or whatever. As soon as the story came out, I'm sure he knew. But he said he didn't know anything about it. He kind of was criticizing the Atlantic, and then he was saying something about, well, it didn't do any good because the mission was a success. Talking about the attack on the Houthis. So I'm like, that's not what this is about, my guy. It's about this security breach. So, but he pretended to not know anything. So I guess we'll see in the coming days what ends up coming about. I've said before in other videos that I like to watch Don Lemon, and he did a little survey and asked if you thought, and it named Pete Hegseth and Mike Walls, and asked if you thought that they would, either one of them would get fired. And I was like, and then there was the choice, neither one, and that was the highest percentage in the poll, because it's like, you know, the big trend in this regime is that, you know, we don't abide by laws and we just do whatever we want and we suffer no repercussions from it. So, you know, it just is what it is, and so I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But um, the Department of Government Inefficiency at Work. That's what I'm going to start calling it, the Department of Government Inefficiency, even though it really had nothing to do with Elon Musk, but I'm just saying, so inefficient. And I also find it just really, really ironic that they want to talk all this bull mess about DEI. And, you know, when that plane crash happened over the Potomac, you know, the first thing Donald Trump said is it must have been a DEI hire that was the pilot, you know, trying to blame DEI, and then they're getting rid of DEI and talking about how they're only going to hire the most qualified people. And it's just so ironic how he has the most unqualified people in his cabinet that we've ever seen in our lives. And I do believe that Pete Hegseth has to be the most unqualified out of all of them. And, you know, they call him the drunk secretary and all this stuff. He does apparently has a drinking problem. So everybody's kind of speculating and wondering if he was drunk when this chat was happening, and if he was sober, what kind of secrets will he reveal when he's drunk? And I mean, who the heck knows? But it's just crazy every single day. Crazy. And, you know, my brother and I, we discuss things quite a bit, and I really want to have him on my podcast. We just haven't gotten together to record it, but we talk about things quite a bit. In every election, he's my go-to person that I talk to, and and he was, you know, he was saying to me, has anything that's happened so far affected you personally? And, you know, I said, no, it hasn't. Not me personally, but I care so much about people. So it has affected me mentally because it's, you know, it's enough to drive anybody crazy. And he said, just let it play out. And basically, the premise is that this regime will kind of destroy themselves from within. And, you know, I keep saying it's not sustainable. What is happening is not sustainable. It's only been 2 months. And I told him, I said, I feel like we've been living this for like 5 years. Because he said, Kathy, it's only March. The election just happened in November. He was just inaugurated in January. And I was like, oh my God, you're right. But it feels like it's been like 10 years. I feel like that we're living in a fever dream, and it's a nightmare that I'm never going to wake up from. And, you know, but he is right. And he calms me down a lot. He really does. He kind of gives me a little bit of perspective on things, because I'm so vigilant about paying attention to everything going on. And I do give myself breaks and everything like that. And I had a great weekend, and I hope you guys did too. What'd y'all do this weekend? I went to a wedding reception with my daughter on Friday, and we had a great time. And then Saturday, I went with my sister and my niece. My sister is a nurse, and the department that she works on, or the floor that she's on, they plan different things for them to do, you know, outside of work. So we all went to, and she had, you know, she always invites me and her daughter to go with us, or to go with them. And we went to dinner, went to Mexican for dinner, and it was really, really good. And then we went to see, his name's Nurse John, and he's a nurse, but he's also a comedian. And his whole act, I guess, is based on nursing. And I'm not a nurse, but I've been around enough nurses and I've worked in healthcare for many years, so pretty familiar with all of it. So it was nothing that I couldn't relate to. But I mean, not directly being a nurse, but I definitely hear enough stories from my sister to be able to relate. But it was fun. He was really funny, and just taking that time to enjoy your friends, your family, and all of that is so important right now. And I'm very blessed that I'm able to do that. So, um, and on Friday, when I was going with my daughter, um, her her daughter, my granddaughter, was going with her other grandparents um, out of town for the weekend. So, but she has swim lessons on Fridays. So I went over there early so I could go to her swim lesson. So that was a lot of fun to watch. She's kind of apprehensive about a lot of things. She's only 3, and but I told my daughter, I said she'll come around. She'll come around, and she'll be all right. And I'm glad you're doing this because I'm a full believer that everybody needs to know how to swim, and it's never too soon to teach your children how to swim. So yeah, but the place she goes to, they also have gymnastics, and she's on the wait list for that, and she's real excited about the gymnastics because she always can see the girls in the gymnastics, and she's real interested in that. So I'll be excited to see what happens with that too. But it's also just so good to get your kids involved in things like that. They form friendships and they learn about teamwork. They learn about being a good sport, and they learn about a lot of things, being involved in things like that. So I'm glad that they're doing that with her too. And she is just a joy for me. And one of my biggest concerns is about her future and what the world's going to look like when she is older. And I'm doing everything I can to fight for that future for her. And that is the reason why I do this. And it's the reason why I go to the protest. There's another one happening on April 5th, which I plan on going to. That'll be my third. So I'm just going to keep doing what I can. And every person, just doing your part, whatever you can do. That's all that's expected. Just do what you can. Whether it's talking to people and helping to educate them on what's happening, or going to protest, or whatever it is that, getting involved in your community in any way that you can help. I think it's all good. So I'm really loving the movement with AOC and Bernie Sanders and the Fight the Oligarchy tour and all of the huge crowds that is drawing. And Elon Musk posted on his X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, all about how the crowd in Denver was paid, basically saying that they were paid people, and there wasn't really as many people there as they said there was, and all of this stuff. And I was like, y'all just don't like what's happening, so you got to try to, you know, spread more lies. We all know that none of that is true. And when we were at the protest in DC, me and my daughter, somebody had said something about, how they're trying to say that the protesters are all paid. And me and my daughter were like, we didn't get paid. We spent money to come here, and certainly nobody paid us. We are here because we care. We're here because we want to be here. Nobody needs to pay me to go to a protest. But I think that's hilarious because they're not liking the pushback, and it's growing more and more and more. And I think the thing that'll push everybody really over the edge is if this spending bill goes through and they make those cuts to Medicaid and Social Security and Medicare. I think that's gonna be the thing that's gonna bring on the like real people in the streets uprising. And yeah, that's gonna do it, I think. But um, anyway, I am very fortunate and very glad that I am aware of what's going on, because a lot of people believe a lot of lies. And I just like, you know, another reason I do this is hoping, somebody out there might see this and, and other videos that I've done and become involved in independent media and getting your information from other sources besides mainstream media, because especially Fox News, and because it's all lies and you're not going to be told the truth. And then when I attempted to watch a video today of Donald Trump holding a cabinet meeting, I was just curious. I'm like, I want to see what these people are talking about. And I swear to God, it sounded like the whole thing was scripted and every person was praising him, and he just told a bunch of lies like he always does. And I watched it for maybe 1 minute total, maybe a minute and a half, and I had to turn it off. I said, I can't do this. Can't do it. Can't do it. Can't watch it. And it's just uh because I know that people are like soaking this stuff in and believing it, and I'm just like, no, no, no. But anyway, I just thought I'd come on here and have a little chat, little coffee clutch. So I hope everybody's doing well, and happy Monday and Munder Day. Just start calling it Munder Day, okay? Because that's what it is. Happy Munder Day, everybody. And if you could please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and there's a little bell you can hit that'll notify you when new content is available. Really helps a lot. So I really appreciate any support you can give. And I'm not talking about monetary support, because everything I told you or suggested is free. If you subscribe, it's free. You can like the video, that's free, and then get your notifications when a new video is up. That's also free. So, like I said before, I'm new at this and trying to build the platform, and I'm realizing that that takes longer than I expected it to. But that's okay. I'm patient. I'll keep working and keep pushing and keep doing what I'm doing. Not going to give up. I'm a fighter. I'm a June Osborne. I'm a Katniss Everdeen. If you know, you know. So everybody have a great day. And thank you so much for your support. Bye.